Yes, if she breaks the record in the same amount of time that the record was set in, then it's legitimate. But if you have an extra year to break a record, to me, did you truly break the record?
WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid. She's just not built for the physicality of this league.
Sheryl Swoopes confidently called the Indiana Fever a dead-end team, claiming Caitlin Clark wouldn't attract top talent. But now, with star players flocking to the Fever, it looks like Swoopes' bold claims are aging like milk and was all talk. What did she say? And was she right? Was she just another voice in the crowd, or did she see something others missed? Sheryl Swoopes, one of the WNBA's most iconic figures, has never been shy about speaking her mind. But when she made bold claims about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, it caused more than a stir.
Now a back and forth between Stephen A. and Sheryl Swoopes that is now not only lingered on a little bit longer than it probably should have, but it spilled over into the timeline where Sheryl Swoopes has made crazy comments.
In an interview that shocked many, Sheryl Swoopes didn't hold back when talking about the future of the Indiana Fever. She boldly called the team a dead end. To hear those words from a player with so much history in the league was a gut punch. After all, the Fever aren't some unknown team, they've had their moments. But Swoopes didn't see any hope for them, not with their current trajectory. Why would a legend like her speak so harshly? And what did she know that others didn't? This all started at the beginning when Swoopes set her sights on Caitlin Clark. The rising star of women's basketball was on everyone's radar, and fans were buzzing about the possibility of her joining the Fever. But Sheryl wasn't buying it. In fact, she predicted that Clark, no matter how talented, wouldn't be able to turn the team around. Swoopes went as far as to say that no top talent would want to join the Fever, even if Clark was leading the charge. Those are some pretty strong words from someone who's seen the ins and outs of the WNBA.
We're talking about Caitlin, we're talking about when she said dominate, when we're saying dominate, we're thinking what she does in college.
So, why did Sheryl Swoopes call the Fever a dead end? Was she just voicing frustration, or did she see something in the team that others weren't acknowledging? In her mind, it wasn't just about having a star player, it was about the whole team structure, the organization, and the environment around them. The Fever were, in her words, a team that couldn't attract top-tier talent, no matter who was at the helm. Was she right, or was this an overblown take from someone who had already achieved greatness? As expected, Swoopes' statements went completely viral. Fans and analysts were quick to weigh in, and the backlash was quick. While some agreed, saying the Fever's roster and management hadn't lived up to expectations, others came to the defense of the team and Caitlin Clark. After all, Clark was still young, and many believed she had the ability to elevate any team she joined. So, what impact did Swoopes' remarks have on the public perception of the Fever and Clark's future? Did she unwittingly plant a seed of doubt, or was she simply speaking the truth?
But to me, that's not dominating.
Yeah, it's only not dominating because she's a rookie.
Since Swoopes' viral comments, well, it looks like the team had a different plan in mind. While Swoopes predicted the worst, the Fever turned the tables in free agency, landing some of the biggest names in women's basketball. This wasn't just a good signing, it was a game changer. How did they even pull something like this off? When the Indiana Fever entered free agency, no one expected them to come out as winners. After all, their recent history was filled with struggle, and the reputation Swoopes gave them seemed pretty accurate. But then something incredible happened. The Fever started making moves, and the kind of talent they were bringing in had everyone asking, could something like this even be real? Is this true? It was as if they were building a super team in a video game, where you have unlimited funds to snag every top player available. But they weren't playing games, they were making a serious statement.
Because I think it makes a mockery of the women's game. If the focus on, now we just have to have people because of marketing and their attention, and they're not as talented, and we're not putting the best team out there.
First, the Fever shocked everyone by signing Natasha Howard, a player with a championship pedigree and known as one of the most dominant defenders in the league. Howard was a game changer from the moment she hit the court. Her presence immediately added a level of intensity to the team, one that was sorely needed. The question now wasn't if she could help the Fever, it was how far she could push them. Could she be the key to turning Indiana into a contender and take them into a championship? But the surprises didn't stop with Howard. Next up was DeWanna Bonner. A versatile scoring machine, Bonner could do it all. From hitting clutch shots to playing tough defense, she brought a skill set that elevated the Fever's entire roster. In a league where every possession counts, having a player like Bonner on your team is invaluable. Her signing sent a clear message. Indiana was not only looking for talent, but also for the leadership to guide them to the next level. Even though DeWanna Bonner and Caitlin Clark had a little back and forth last season, they will surely patch things up to be the best team in the league.
And right, bro, there's just no way that someone could come in and lead the league in a statistical category and you not walk away from the season.
Then came Sophie Cunningham. Known for her energy, her fiery competitiveness, and her ability to light up a game, Cunningham added a new dimension to the Fever's offense. Her relentless hustle on both sides of the court injected the team with an urgency that they had been lacking. It wasn't just about adding players, it was about changing the culture, about bringing in individuals who were willing to fight for every point, every possession. Cunningham's signing felt like the missing piece that Indiana had been searching for. Finally, the Fever secured Sydney Colson, a veteran guard with years of experience under her belt. But what she brought to the team wasn't just her skills, it was her leadership. As a locker room leader, Colson helped set the tone for what this new-look Fever was all about. Her presence on and off the court made it clear that the Fever weren't just building for the now, they were building for sustained success. With Colson guiding the way, this was a team poised to make waves in the WNBA.
I mean, we're having a good time, we're having fun, but I don't really care what the record is, who has the record. Anybody that can put up back-to-back 40-point games, like that's a ball.
So, what does this all mean? Swoopes' prediction that the Fever would be a dead-end team now feels miles away. Instead of being stuck in a rut, the Indiana Fever defied the odds, completely transforming their roster and proving that they could secure top-tier talent. This wasn't just about individual players, it was about creating something greater. Now, with players like Natasha Howard, Dewana Bonner, Sophie Cunningham, and Sydney Colson, the Fever look like a team ready to shake things up. Will they live up to the hype? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this is a team that's no longer a dead end. They're a force to be reckoned with. Well, after the Fever pulled off one of the most shocking free agency hauls in recent WNBA history, Swoopes has gone suspiciously silent. Go figure. Why is she keeping quiet? Did she misjudge the entire situation? And is her silence a sign that the truth has finally caught up with her? Sheryl Swoopes wasn't just making casual comments when she called the Indiana Fever a dead-end team. She was bold, she was loud, and she was certain that no top-tier talent would ever want to play for them. In fact, she went so far as to say Caitlin Clark wouldn't be able to turn the team around. Those words echoed for months. Fans were divided. Some agreed with her, others thought she was off the mark. But no one expected what would come next. Since those shocking signings, Swoopes has remained eerily quiet. No follow-up statements, no apologies, nothing. It's as if the former legend has disappeared into the background, unable to address the fact that her bold predictions were completely wrong. Could this silence be a sign of embarrassment? Or is she simply trying to avoid having to eat her words? One thing is clear, Swoopes' confidence in her earlier predictions has completely disappeared. The question on everyone's mind is whether Swoopes truly misjudged the situation or if she had an ulterior motive in voicing such harsh opinions. Was she just speaking out of frustration, or did she have insider knowledge that led her to believe the Fever wouldn't succeed in attracting talent? The fact that she hasn't commented on how wrong she was only fuels the mystery. Could there be more to this silence than meets the eye? Now remember, for years the Indiana Fever had been stuck in a narrative that no one wanted to play there. The team was considered a rebuilding project with little to offer top-tier athletes. This reputation wasn't just a casual opinion, it was the widely accepted truth. But then, out of nowhere, the Fever flipped the script. The Fever pulled off these jaw-dropping signings. The entire WNBA had to take notice. This wasn't some fluke or a short-term fix. These were players who had a choice, and they chose Indiana. That decision has sent shockwaves across the league, and the message is clear. If the Fever can build a competitive, exciting team, then any franchise can do the same. Suddenly, teams that had once been seen as undesirable are rethinking their strategies, and players are starting to see new opportunity. They can't just focus on playing defense on Caitlin Clark, now they have to play defense on the entire team. The Fever's success in free agency doesn't just affect their own future, it has the potential to reshape the WNBA as a whole. Teams that were once considered longshots or rebuilding can now confidently enter free agency with a new vision. The league has become more dynamic, and with the Fever setting the bar high, we might see a wave of talent flocking to teams that were previously overlooked. Indiana's rise could very well be the beginning of a larger shift in how players choose their destinations. Look at some of these free agency pickups and trades to really be aware of for this upcoming season. Las Vegas Aces acquired Jewel Lloyd from the Seattle Storm. Los Angeles Sparks acquired Kelsey Plum from the Seattle Storm. Phoenix Mercury acquired Alyssa Thomas from the Connecticut Sun. Dallas Wings acquired Dejounte Carrington from the Connecticut Sun. New York Liberty acquired Natasha Cloud from the Connecticut Sun. Chicago Sky acquired Rebecca Allen from the Phoenix Mercury. Dallas Wings acquired J.C. Sheldon from the Dallas Wings. This shift isn't just about a team or a city. It's about what players want for themselves. The Fever's signings show that players are looking for more than just championship potential. They're looking for organizations that offer stability, culture, and a clear vision for the future. And by attracting the best of the best, the Fever have shown that they're ready to compete, not just in games, but in the race for talent. The bigger question now is, who will be next to follow Indiana's lead? What's the secret behind the Indiana Fever's sudden rise in the WNBA? It isn't just the star signings or a new strategy, it's one player, Caitlin Clark. She's a force unlike anything the league has seen before, and her impact on the Fever is undeniable. But the real question is Caitlin Clark the reason top players are suddenly flocking to Indiana? Caitlin Clark's name carries weight, and not just in college basketball. Her reputation as a competitor, a leader, and a playmaker has turned heads across the league. This isn't a typical player. This is a game changer. Players like Sydney Colson, who could have signed with other teams, found themselves drawn to the Fever because of Clark's presence. The idea of playing alongside a player like her, someone with the drive and skill to lead a team to the top, is too good to pass up. That's not something every team can offer. What's the real draw for free agents? It's simple, winning with Caitlin Clark. The Indiana Fever are very clear that they want Clark to lead this team to the championship. Her ability to take control of the game and lead by example is something that other players want to be part of. It's not just about the flashy plays, it's about the way she commands the court. For players like Sydney Colson, who want to compete at the highest level, joining the Fever means more than just being on a competitive team. It means being part of something bigger, a team built around one of the most talented and respected leaders in the game. Before Caitlin Clark, the Fever struggled to attract top talent. But now, thanks to her undeniable pull, the team has become one of the most desirable spots in the WNBA. The Fever's new identity isn't just about filling out a roster, it's about creating a winning culture with Clark at the helm. And as more star players flock to Indiana, that culture is only going to grow stronger. Clark's influence has changed the entire dynamic of the team. What was once seen as a team in rebuild mode is now being talked about as a serious contender. Caitlin Clark's rise in Indiana is sending shockwaves across the WNBA. Her stats alone as a Rocky is mind-blown itself. Teams that once seemed to dominate free agency are now facing stiff competition from the Fever. And it's all because of one player. The buzz around Clark has created a domino effect. Players aren't just looking for money or a championship, they're looking for a leader who can elevate their game. Caitlin Clark isn't just a great player, she's a player who makes others better, and that's a rare quality that's turning heads across the league. What happens next for the Fever? With Caitlin Clark leading the charge, the team is set to become one of the most dominant forces in the WNBA. Players are going to want to be a part of that success. The real question now isn't just about adding more talent, it's about maintaining that momentum. Caitlin Clark's influence will continue to shape the Fever's future, and with her at the helm, who knows how far this team could go. Make sure you guys subscribe and comment down below. Thanks for watching.